Hi, this is Angela Taylor with Taylor Homestead Soap, and I wanted to say hi to my first graders. Hi, first graders! Thank you for subscribing to my channel. See, guys, I teach first grade, and my first graders found out that I have a YouTube channel. So, they have been watching and commenting lately. They have been commenting lately on my soaps. So, if you see Mrs. Taylor, she is my teacher, or so cool. Those are my first graders who are commenting and subscribing to my channel. It's just really cute. So I wanted to show you today, this is not a soaping video. It is related to soap, but it's not necessarily a soaping video today. My husband is heavily involved because my husband makes me some really cool things to help me soap with. So I want to show you one of the two things. Later on today, you're going to see how he made this. This is a soap mold. And what he has done is he has made this with his 3D printer, which he will show specifically how he made it. It's inverted, which means the soap will go in all these little crevices, so it'll stick out when you put the soap in. So that's really cool. So a little bit later, you will get to see how he made this with his 3D printer. The one thing I'm going to show you today, and what I'm going to use this for, this is, see the hummingbird? This is a hummingbird. It was made with the machine that you're going to see a little bit later on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some specialized putty, and I'm going to cover this whole thing with the putty and make a mold, an embed, so that when it comes out and you pull this out of the middle, it becomes a soap embed that will go in the center of a soap. So I will show you how I do that here in a minute. And this is just a cookie cutter. He found a template for a cookie cutter and he just built it up. Isn't that cool? So if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and give me a big thumbs up and leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. All right, so I'm going to show you what I'm using here. This is called, this is what I'm using. I got this off of Amazon. I'll leave a link for it in the description box below. It's a pourable silicone rubber. So it's liquid rubber for pouring over original models, sculpting pieces, and more. So what you do is you take equal parts of part A and equal parts of part B, and you mix it together and it becomes silicone. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to pour it over all of this to make my silicone mold for this hummingbird. So I'm going to do this, I think, the easiest way I know how. I'm going to take this Incredibles cup and I'm going to measure it out equal amounts. So I'm going to look at my ounces here. What you do is you tar it. All right. So I'm going to put 2 ounces. We're going to start with 2 ounces of this. It's gluey. Look at this. See? And it's pink. Look at that. All right, so I did 4.35. I'm going to do another 4.35 of this one now, I think, hopefully. So what it tells you to do next is to mix this goo together until there are no streaks in it. So I'll come back in a little bit when I see no streaks in this. Okay, so now the pink and the blue have become purple, so they're totally mixed together. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take this and I'm going to carefully pour this into here. Now that I got you at a better angle here, see? So I'm going to put this inside this mold right here. And then we're going to let it set up, is the dream and the goal. So I hope I don't have too much, but I might. So I wanted to show you what it came out as. So it looks kind of messy, but you can see down in there is the mold of the This is the mold of the hummingbird. So you can see it's got all the ridges all the way down into there. I pulled this out of the middle of it, and it was messy. The problem was my neighbor had to come over. He had a Dremel type thing, and he had to cut my cup off of it because I couldn't get this whole thing out of this cup. So there it is, and what I'm going to do is I will put soap inside of this, and it will make for me a hummingbird that will go into the middle of a soap. So this little piece right here is missing, but it doesn't go all the way down, see? And right now it's tacky still because the air couldn't get to it. So all of this right here is still very tacky, so it's going to have to, see? A little slimy still. So there it is. Cool, huh?
Hello, Taylor Homestead Soap subscribers. I know that I'm not Angela Taylor. I'm Adrian Taylor, the other half of the Taylor Homestead Soap business. And I'm here today to talk to you about 3D printing. We're going to 3D print a soap mold that has the word Homestead on it that Angela can use to put in some soap and actually make some customized soap bars. I'm going to kind of walk you through the process of basic 3D printing. We're going to show you, not in its entirety, because 3D printing the mold will take a couple hours, but in fast motion, small snippets, so you can see how it actually works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 3D printer. I know it doesn't look like much, but let me walk you through some of the parts. This is the bed of the printer, which goes back and forth. This up here is what we call the extruder, and underneath here, we've got a nozzle. Now this nozzle right here, if the printer was on, would be about 210 or 15 degrees Celsius. It's about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Very, very hot. And what it does is it actually melts plastic. Now there's this plastic like cable here. That's this big plastic cable spool. And what it does is it feeds this plastic down into here, which is called the extruder. It heats it up to 210 degrees in our case, and then pushes it out this tiny, tiny nozzle. Now, the nozzle puts out a bead of plastic that is 0.4 millimeters wide and 0.15 millimeters thick. That means to make something that is 1 millimeter wide, it's got to go across it about 2.5 times and 1 millimeter thick, and then go across that 8 times back and forth. So 3D printing actually takes quite a while. The thing we're going to print today is going to take about 4 hours. So let me fire this up to start with. We got to warm up the printer, and by warm up I literally mean warm up the printer, because the printer has to be turned on. We have to preheat the printer so that it will warm that up and be ready to go when we get started with printing. So you can see out there, it's got a degrees. It is currently 21.7 degrees. We're going to go ahead and warm this up. We're going to preheat it. PLA is the kind of plastic we're using today. Going to warm that up. Now over the next minute or two, it's going to get up to 200 plus degrees. And we're going to get set up. So I'm going to show you how to use the software. All right, we're about to get started. We are warming up right now, 104 Celsius. The bed temperature, this part that we actually print on, is 60 degrees Celsius, which is pretty warm to the touch. We do that to keep it nice and warm so that the material, the plastic, will stick to it well. Okay, in order to build something in a 3D printer, you have to use 3D printing software. This is from Ultimaker Cura. It's the software that I use for my printer. As you can see kind of right here, we've got an outline of what we're looking at. We can see about how thick it's going to be. And it's sending instructions about how to cut this up so that the printer knows how to go back and forth. Now the letters look reversed right there. That's because we're making a mold, and we really want the mold to be, those letters to be in relief so that we can see them. So that'll be really, really good there. If we look over here at the settings, the layer height is 0.15 millimeters, sorry. And it's got an infill, which is how much plastic on the inside. We want it to be kind of sturdy, so we're going to get 35% plastic on the inside. It's going to take, as you can see, 4 hours and 39 minutes to print. Okay, now, the plastic we actually use for 3D printing is not very expensive. This is going to use 58 grams of plastic. You get about 1,000 grams for about 20 bucks. So that means it's going to cost us about $1 worth of plastic to print. So We're going to go ahead and get this set up. I'm going to show you the beginning of the printing process, and then we'll come back from time to time so you can see it in real time. All right, so now we're going to get to the actual 3D printing of the object. Now, in a minute, we'll see the actual printer start to move. It'll lay down a tiny layer of plastic, and it'll go over and over and over. As the printing time listed on this particular thing is 4 hours and 39 minutes. We're going to cut that into smaller sections so you can see it just kind of build over time. And it'll be interesting as we lay it down, and we'll show you the final product when we're done. Enjoy. And there we have it. It's all finished. We'll just pry her off the bed there. It'll take us a minute. There we go. This is what it looks like. Homestead backwards. This will be the right side up. On the side. All of this just a minute ago was just plastic tubing or thread. And now, a physical object that we're going to use for soap mold. So thanks for watching. Taylor Homestead Soap.